CTF, capture the flag. Flag capture, the objective of capturing a flag from an opposing team whilst protecting your own flag. The game mode Team Fortress 2 was built around the earliest footage of Team Fortress 2 before it was even the 9 Mercs and before it was even called Team Fortress 2 had this game mode. The game mode is an iconic part of Team Fortress 2's history and scene. Everybody who has played TF2 has probably at some point hopped into a CTF map and, let's face it, is most likely been 2-4. 2-4 on its own is a completely different type of map and style of map compared to the vast maps that we have now, like Upwards and Badwater. I mean, even compared to the other CTF maps such as Landfall and Double Cross, it's a very small space when you fill it with a full server of people, and when you even take into account some of the space you even need to use some of the weapons we have in the game today. I mean, for example, even the Airstriker for the Soldier is nowhere near as viable on 2-4 as it is any other map, and that's just because Team Fortress 2 has outgrown it. CTF is typically a very common game mode. In games such as Call of Duty, Battlefield, it's pretty simple. Everyone can understand it. TF2 makes this even simpler when, Valve made CTF maps being completely symmetrical for the most part. So you even have less learning to do, because if you know your half of the map, which you are obviously walking to get to the other side of the map, which is the enemy side, is the complete same, just walking backwards. Really easy, doesn't get any easier than that. And that's the thing though, it's a very simple map and game mode, and as such it's prone to attracting lots of newer players. And it simply doesn't mean all CTF players are simpletons learning the basics of TF2. I mean, my brother, for instance, as much grief as I give him, he has 1,000 hours in TF2, and all he has ever played in his life is 2-4. For a fact, it's all he's ever played. Never played anything else. It's all he likes. CTF maps are also the closest thing we get to a team deathmatch kind of vibe. Now, yes, you do have things like Payload Race High Towers where it's not really acceptable to cap the point, but CTF 2-4 is the closest we ever got to a deathmatch mode in TF2. I mean, you can get insane kill streaks going on for hours and hours and hours as long as the flags aren't capped. There's no time limit. So with this in mind, you'd think, the Sweatmaster himself, being me, would love capture the flag. But I just haven't clicked with it. I mean, if I play a game of Upward, going godlike, pulling off mental bullshit that you wouldn't even believe, then it feels cool. If I were to do that in CTF, even if, it was even more godlike and even more impressive, I'd feel like it isn't the same level of amazing just because there technically isn't a time limit, because the maps are smaller and are prone to newer players, because the objective doesn't really change the map. It's always going to be in the same place unless it's been taken, which is not as likely as you would think. And it's very easy to camp out. I mean, my brother, for example, I know most of his hours have been with a level 3 sentry just sat outside the spawn on Capture the Flag 2-4 for a fact. And I wouldn't find that rewarding. Now, that doesn't mean that if you're on 2-4 and you've pulled off like some sort of like mental 100 kills in a row, all of them air shots and rocket jumping soldiers, then that is not impressive. I mean, I just can't click with it. And I found it, I've tried explaining it to a few people now. So when ETF2L, my god, it's a mouthful, and UGC added recent files related to Capture the Flag maps, I was a little worried. Stalemates would be very dull in a proper 9v9 Highlander format, or it would be very short at a kind of mad rush game mode, which for comp just isn't interesting. I mean, MMA fighters say it all the time. An MMA fight where one fighter knocks out the other one is not interesting. You haven't learned anything from it. And it's the exact same thing with Capture the Flag. Capture the Flag is rather a complete stalemate where there isn't really, an environment for you to show off the best of your skills and ability, but you're also not pushed to change or adapt at the same point, and I just don't think it's useful. I mean, on the inverse of that, the map could end almost instantly if some scouts go and get the intelligence. Like I say, I don't hate Capture the Flag. I just don't click with it the way a lot of other people do. I have a pretty weird feeling towards it. But that's just my opinion on the game mode, why I don't really play it, and why someone was mentioning the other day that whenever I play capture the flag modes, I always look out of place, and I'm always dead funny looking because I'm so focused on doing the objective, because I like having an objective to do. If the objective was to get kills, then yeah, that's fine, but I don't want the objective to be kills. That's not interesting to me. And I've just never clicked with it in that kind of way. But that's just my view on Capture the Flag. Now, this is more of a discussion video. I really want to see what people think about Capture the Flag, and especially what people think about it being a competitive game mode. Now, as far as we know, there's no evidence that it will actually be added to the competitive scene as of so far. It's just that it's been something that has been hinted to with some recent files that have been added to the UGC and ETF2L. But that does it for this video. This week's shout out goes to Dingus for subscribing. Thank you very much. Be sure to check out my Twitch, my Twitter, and Discord in the description below. Tell me what you think about Capture the Flag players, and in general the Capture the Flag environment in the comment section down below. I have been Jay Caliber. See you next time.